So, it's time for your media training, Eric.
Yes, finally I got out of the basement. This is exciting. I bought new underwear.
That's not necessary. So let's say you're about to do TV. What's your message?
Well, that Fox News is evil and wrong.
What else?
Well, that Fox News is wrong and evil.
Well, Eric, at some point you'll probably have to move on from there.
But that's what we do at Media Matters. They give me food pellets for every empty Fox story I write.
Eric, you have to converse on any number of subjects.
Oh, well, I can talk about Fox and Friends, Beck, Hannity and O'Reilly. That's 4 topics.
What's that smell?
It's my diaper. Because I must watch Fox all day, I can't afford to use the toilet. I just pooped. But don't worry. I have a Glade deodorizer taped to my pelvis.
Anyway, what are your thoughts on Obama bombing Libya?
Well, Fox News says.
No. What are your thoughts on Obama bombing Libya?
Well, Fox News says.
Let's try to get off Fox News, Eric. Is that possible?
I have no other skills. My job is to obsessively watch Fox News. If you take that away, I have nothing. No friends. No family. No life. I am a shell of a human, deluded into thinking I have purpose, when all I really am is a conduit for my boss's simmering jealousy over past slights.
You're depressing me.
Don't you think my problem is that I am too smart? That's why nobody likes me.
I think you need a psychiatrist, not a media trainer.
Do you have any more lotion? I am chafing.
Did you poop again?
No, that's just my normal smell.
An amazing portrayal, I must say. Great work by Colin Firth, playing the British fellow.
Finally, he breaks out.
Yes, yes. Suzanne, isn't it cute seeing them desperately but hopelessly trying to improve themselves? You got to give them credit.
I do. I think that, self-improvement is good wherever it happens.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. And, this is another thing, and I don't mean to keep talking about The Onion, but I kind of can't help it because we have these pundits who come on, right, and the first responders, and they're there for anybody who can't form their own opinion.
They're fantastic.
They just give them theirs, right?
Yeah. Now, do you have any watchdog groups monitoring The Onion?
Probably.
Yes.
Yeah, probably. I'm going to guess there are a few groups that monitor The
Yes,
Onion.
anti-Onion folks.
Yeah.
People who cry when they watch it.
Hard to believe.
Yes. Joe, no amount of media training can make a person likable. And these people are hideous.
Right.
So there's no question there.
No, they're not. They're not hideous, as they said in the clip there. They're just too smart for their own good. Apparently, being too smart makes you sound like this. It's not fair.
But the robots are adorable.
They are adorable.
They are so cute.
They are so sweet, wonderful people, and they take direction, Terry, unlike you. They believe there's a chronic imbalance on the right. Do you buy that? I don't buy that.
Of course there is. It's a vast right-wing conspiracy, which we know about. And also, I want to hire those robots to do the Don't Ask, Don't Tell videos. I think we could combine that with some good training. Just thinking. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I'm just saying, because they're really good.
They are good. Bill, the Washington Post writer, Jason Horowitz, this is probably the worst piece of brown-nosing journalism I've ever read in my life. He obviously was friends with these guys. Chose not to use their names because that could jeopardize their working at Fox.
I get that.
Yes.
I've only been doing this for 4 years, but that's the kind of people that are attracted to this business. Just sort of backhanded, will go wherever the wind blows. First they hate you, then they love you. I, of course, am a loyal employee of News Corp. I tend to stay here as long as they will have me. And I don't mind being a janitor on the side.
Well, you will be.
Something to think about, HR. Something to think about.
All right. But the other part before I move on, I'm very happy to see David Schuster got a job. He actually came to the media training thing to help them out. Nice. Remember David Schuster from MSNBC? Fired for tweeting or something?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that one? Yeah. Great guy.
Is he doing telling them how to employ the social network in their workmanship?
Yes, exactly.
How to better use Twitter to further.
I mean, the thing is, though, Greg, it doesn't matter what training they get. They suck.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
So you can't train somebody to unsuck.
You suck, yeah.
It's true.
Sorry.
George Michael's been arrested 5 times in Hampstead Heath Park.
Why did you loop that in?
I don't know. Coming up.
Why did he do that?
Because you can't untrain somebody who makes mistakes, is what I'm saying. He keeps saying he's going to be better, but he's not. Coming up, can Chicken McNuggets feel pain? We discuss Joe DeRosa's new book, I Don't Care If Chicken McNuggets Feel Pain. What's Trump doing on The View? Well, it's not talking eloquently about a sophisticated subject, that's for sure. You always get a bump, even if you're a chump, and count on a raise even if your work dismays. That is, if you work for our government. According to figures from the Office of Personnel Management, my favorite office, only 0.06% of government workers who are part of the general schedule were denied a pay raise because of poor performance. And in 2009, out of over 1.2 million workers, only 737 didn't get an increase because they suck at their job. These stats rebuke the idea that in government, raises are tied to performance, while bolstering the universally held belief that if you work for Uncle Sam, you will never get fired, no matter how much like Bill Schultz you really are. Indeed, critics point to the fact that even this federal employee got a bump in pay. I can't get under that couch. Also, I'm outraged. Not sure why I'm outraged. Suzanne, in the green room, you were saying to me all federal employees should be fired. I thought that was rather harsh.
I don't recall making that statement, Greg. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah. No, you know, the fact is that I know many people, and one of them being an employee of the government, who have to take pay cuts for different reasons when they actually do an outstanding job. Really? And I think that it comes to a matter of entitlement. When people feel entitled just because they've been somewhere a certain amount of time, that they should get more money. And it's not the case. But truthfully, let's ask ourselves, if people got pay raises based on their actual performance, how come they would be, why would they all be mandated to be like X%? It's like Greg would get, 1,000%.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
Of course.
Right,
Bill would get a negative 20.
Yeah, who knows?
He would constantly get less money, but you never not get a paycheck because it's impossible to go to zero. Yeah. If you keep dividing in half.
I'm just sitting here minding my own America. This is not deserved. This is baseless.
All right.
Well, but really, the inequality exists anyway, even if you are getting raises. I mean, there's
That's the beauty of this world. Right? I know. Where would we be without inequality, Joe? Either we have the most amazing federal employees in the world or the system is screwed up, Joe. What's your take?
The system is completely screwed up unless you want to have a free ride.
Yeah.
So for anybody out there that's lazy, go work for the government.
There you go.
It's the easiest job in the world. I worked for the government for a while, and I had ambition.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, but I have that.
Who's government?
And dreams and work ethic and things. Yeah, and I remember saying to my employees, guys, things could be better around here if we just did X, Y, and Z, and everybody was like, dude, shut your mouth. Yeah. We're just coasting. All right. So
I remember you from the DMV. Hey, Terry, is this just easier to give a raise to an incompetent person than deal with complaints if you don't? Isn't that how it works?
Yeah. That's a good point. And I do work for the government.
You do work for the government.
Military guy.
Yeah, no,
that's not technical.
Those are the people who work for the government we love.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, my thing too. When I read this, I'm like, man, if I'm not going to get promoted to a team sergeant job or something like that just because I've been there a long time. If I'm no good, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Can you imagine promoting guys in combat units just because they've been there a while?
Yeah.
It's not a good idea.
Yeah, that's true. Billy, isn't this how government grows, though? Whether it fails, it must grow. Whether it succeeds, it must grow. All you can do is shrink it.
Are you comparing government to a fungus, not unlike what is at the bottom of my foot?
Yes. It was an indirect assault on your toes.
Well, all right. I'm not even going to touch that, nor am I going to touch my foot.
Nor should you.
But I will say, I'm so sick of being paid based on merit.
Yes.
Not to get all philosophical on you guys.
True.
But what is merit?
Yes.
Perhaps we redefine merit.
Yeah.
What about being able to maintain while severely hungover on your job?
Yeah.
That has some merit. What about being able to get away for working a whole week whilst wearing the same shirt?
Good point.
That must have some merit to it.
Yeah.
What about being able to get away with free basing and the GD toilet and your boss not knowing? Merit.
I did know it, though. And by the way, it wasn't shirt, it was underwear, Bill. We all knew it. All right, I guess we've got to take a break. I guess so. Hey, do you have a comment on the show? Email us. It's at it's redeye at foxnews.com. Can't read the prompter like you, darling. And to leave a voicemail on my direct line, call 212-462-5050. Still to come, the halftime report from TV's Andy Levy, a jerk. What he did to that woman.
Tonight's halftime report is sponsored by polar bears. The world's largest land carnivore is native to the Arctic Circle, encompassing the Arctic Ocean, its surrounding seas, and land masses. Thanks, polar bears.